This episode provides a how-to to healing, a how-to to connect to yourself. We are the Plumb Collective, and this is a universal message for the collective. Welcome to the Plumb Podcast. This is a podcast for possibility.
We begin from a unique starting point, and the conversation unfolds from there. We express authentically, and we create the space for you to do the same.
Hi, I'm Rosalee.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Plumb Collective. In this episode, we explore the how. We begin with the definition of healing, and we go deeper. When I'm working with my clients during clarity calls, I often will say something that is big, that's profound. The question that inevitably gets tossed my way is, okay, but how? You said a bunch of really cool things. How do I bring that into my life? How do I make that make a difference for me in my day to day? That's what this conversation is all about. The okay, but how? Ask yourself the questions and listen for your answers.
I'm always asking how. And I truly believe that the wisdom that Rosalee shares in this message is a how, and I've been implementing it in my life, and it has made a huge difference.
The message you are about to hear, I received by looking at a photo of another person. All of the identifying details have been removed for privacy. The collective universal message remains. This is a conversation, even though you will only hear me speaking. When I'm receiving a message for a client, it feels like an existential telephone call. I'm asking questions, I'm receiving answers. If all of us listen into this phone call, it's important for everybody to hear.
The message is simple. It's not complicated, and it's profound. Sometimes when we hear profound sentences that are constructed simply with words that we know, it feels difficult to grasp the meaning because it is simple and profound.
If you want to take this universal message and bring it into your own life and have it be meaningful for you, it might require more of you to listen differently, to allow the sentences to spark your imagination and your intuition.
If you are interested in this starting point in having an intuitive photo reading done by Rosalee for you, where Rosalee can look at a photo of you and feel specific messages come forward from your energy, you can head over to our website and check out the section on Plumb Point Intuitive Photo Readings, and you can book a reading there.
Listen to this episode as many times as you want. There is magic here, and it is for you. Heal was bold to me in the dictionary. Heal is to make free from injury, to make sound or whole, to make well again, to restore to health, to cause an undesirable condition to be overcome, mend, to patch up, to correct a breach or division, to restore to original integrity, and return to a sound state. The feeling of returning to a sound state, the word sound jumps out at me. That's one of our 5 senses. And it's a frequency. Everything has a frequency. And there's a sound that our energy makes. I feel like I'm getting kind of weird, but this is how I experience things, and I know that there's science that backs it up or whatever. As we shift our energy and as we tell our story to ourselves, there is a wholeness that develops. I guess there's multiple TikToks now that I've made where I'm talking about being full of myself. If I am empty, or if I am full of things that other people have said to me, mean comments, all sorts of things, it would be rattling around in me and making a particular sound. If I'm a tin can with some beans or something in there banging around, there's a sound to that that isn't me. The things that happen to me, the mean things people have said to me. But if I'm full of myself, if I have said and claimed who I am, the stories about me, what has happened to me, I have my power and I'm the main character, communicating to myself who I am and what I believe and what I want, what I expect, what my doubts are, what my feelings are, how I feel and what I want. They're simple, simple questions, but they make a huge difference. And it's moment to moment. In one moment, you may feel sad and you may want revenge, In another moment, you may feel excited and want to dance. In another moment, you might feel exhausted and you might want alone time. Checking in with yourself, listening to yourself, and then making accommodations for yourself. Okay, maybe don't go for revenge. I'm not advocating for that, but allow yourself to visualize, to tell yourself the story of it, or to let it play out as if it is a movie. A practice that I have is allowing myself to get in the gutter. I'll give myself a time limit. Okay, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to go full intensity all the way to 100, and I'm going to go in the gutter. Allow myself to think and feel the worst of the worst and what I want to do and how I want to express it. And I allow myself to feel the feelings. I might write it down. I might verbal journal about it. I express it in some kind of way. Might howl it out. Might scream into a pillow, might punch a pillow. I allow myself to feel those feelings and they move through me. They shift, being the adult person that you are and going like, okay, well, I'm not going to commit any crimes. I'm not going to do anything that hurts or harms anybody else. I know that about myself. That's not what this is about, but that there's a part of me that's interested in revenge. So I'm going to allow that part to explore what that would look like, how that would feel in my imagination. And I'm going to allow it for a period of time. I'm not going to stay there all day. I'm not going to stay in revenge energy for years. But I'm going to give myself these moments to feel it when it comes up. I'm not going to swat it away. I'm not going to push it down. I'm not going to swallow it down. I'm not going to stifle myself. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to trust myself and my feelings. I believe that healing is integration and that healing is feeling my feelings and that my feelings and my emotions are in motion and that I allow the flow of it. And I know that I'm not going to feel this way forever. But if I don't allow myself to feel it, and if I cork myself off or I stop the flow of the emotions and I hold on to it tightly and I feel resentful and horrible and just miserable, and I don't let myself feel it because a good person shouldn't feel this way and I shouldn't want revenge and I should forgive and I should forget and all this other fucking bullshit that I just totally do not agree with, then it feels stuck. It gets all jammed up in it. Connecting to yourself and honoring the fact that you know how to heal because you know what the injury was. You know what's needed. And you, in this moment, might not know. But there is a part of you that knows. And it's connecting to that part and trusting all of the ages that you ever were, building that relationship with yourself. We typically don't just completely trust a stranger right away or let our guard down completely and just go all in. Most of the time. Sometimes, that can happen or whatever, but it's like maybe we have a casual little text exchange. We go out to coffee, we go to dinner, catch a movie, we go for a walk, we hang out at the park. We get to know another person. And then over time and through experiences together, we develop a relationship where there's trust. Maybe on first meeting with someone, you wouldn't tell them your hopes and dreams and biggest fears and everything. But then after you feel, oh, this person's really trustworthy and I really like them and I feel this connection, we're more willing to open up. We're more willing to share those things because we trust that the other person isn't going to use that against us or they're not going to harm us with that information. some of these parts that have been stifled or shooed away or not listened to or told that they should be healed by now, there's a relationship that could be built and needs to be built so that the flow of information and energy can connect. The other word that felt bold to me was expect. If you believe that you will be able to heal from your childhood trauma, if you believe that it is possible for you to be healing and to enjoy your experience of life, and that it's not pretending it didn't happen or moving on from it, but instead embracing all of it. It's like if you have the expectation that for the rest of my life, I'm going to be getting to know myself and connecting with myself and feeling my senses and connecting to my body. And my expectation is that I'm going to have moments where I feel amazing, and I'm going to have some moments that are hard. And that being a human, having this human meat sack, is a gift because I have my senses and I can experience things through my senses that no one can take from me. No one can injure, because my essence in who I am can never be dented or diminished or disturbed. You're already at your essence healed. You're already complete and perfect, and the things that happened. And it fucking sucks. And I wish it didn't happen. What are your expectations? What are your beliefs? What do you believe about yourself and the process of healing? Expect is to consider probable or certain. If you believe that it's inevitable, that it's probable, that it's certain, that you will have a good life, that the rest of your life is yours, and that you're in command of it, and that you get to say, that you get to be happy, that you get to feel all of the feelings that you expect being healed to feel like, you get to have them right now. But it's identifying what that is. What does it look like? What is the hope? What is the expectation? And finding ways to bring that into your life now. If you wanted to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower, and it just is not possible right now for you to take the trip, take the time off, do the physicalness of traveling, it just is not possible. Instead of having it be this thing that is just, well, I can't do it the way that I have envisioned it or the way other people do it or whatever. I just have to accept that I'm not going to go to Paris. It's like, okay, like you could do it that way. Or could you bring the parts that you're interested in into your life now? Could you put on Paris cafe sounds in the background and make yourself or get a cappuccino and a baguette and a croissants, or I don't know, this is all stereotypical Parisian things, you know? Could you experience the parts, the feelings of it now without going anywhere? And it's those kinds of things, but with the things that you want to experience and how you feel like healing will feel. If it feels like, okay, well, if I was healed from my childhood trauma, I would feel carefree. Okay, well, what does feeling carefree look like on a day-to-day basis? You could feel the carefree feelings now in a different way, and it doesn't have to be a downgrade or like you're making some sacrifice. It's like, no, you're connecting to the energy of it. It's available anytime. If you expect and consider it probable and certain and necessary, and reasonable. Like, it's reasonable to want to feel carefree. It's reasonable to want to feel like you're healed. Okay, well, what would that look like? What would that feel like? What are some more words around it and inside of it, the layers of it? Another definition of expect is to anticipate or look forward to await. Await means to be ready for, to be in store for. So it's like connecting to the feelings of being healed and how that would look, how it would feel, what the expectations and beliefs about healing are that you have examined and chosen for yourself. Find out what it is, what it would look like, what it would feel like, and then be ready for it. Anticipate it, look forward to it. Be in the energy of it. Find ways to make it real now. Other questions that I have on my notebook page are, what do you believe about yourself? Do you believe that you are healing? That you've been in the process of healing your childhood trauma since that trauma occurred? Do you believe that you are strong and you are capable and that you are worthy of feeling good and having a life that you love? So it's like, what would that life look like? What would it feel like? What would it smell like? What would it sound like? And connecting to your senses, allowing yourself to like things. The questions that I've asked in this reading can connect you to yourself and to your expectations about healing. Listen to this recording as many times as you want. Maybe take some notes as you're listening. If you want continued ongoing support, I created the Plumb Practice membership and the diner as different options. The Plumb Practice membership is a gentle and incremental way to connect with yourself, to your sensations, to your senses, to your memories, to your childhood trauma every week, an hour a week. You can do it anytime you want. We send you an email to remind you there's a continued contact. We create a space and a practice for you to feel your feelings and heal in this gentle, incremental way. It is really cool and interesting. And then the diner, it's a how-to guide. I share about listening to yourself and witnessing yourself. It really takes practice of Plumb Practice and goes deeper into why it works and how to distill your writing down to the essence, how you feel about something. It's the most effective and efficient thing I've done for my healing. It has made the biggest difference. We created the diner to be played like a game. It's a continuous course. When I'm saying healing for the rest of your life, learning the process of the diner gives you a guide and a path that once you learn the process, you literally carry it with you the rest of your life. It's so fun and interesting and cool and guided, but yet private. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I think it's the best thing I've ever done for myself and the best thing I've ever created. If it is possible for you, I experience both. I do Plumb Practice once a week and I use the diner every single day. The combination of the two have been very supportive for me and my healing process, healing from my childhood trauma. It's how I've been able to share and model feeling my feelings online. And for me, that's an important part of my healing process, because of being recorded as a child and being exploited in the ways that I was. But that's not everybody's path. So creating an environment in a way to privately connect with yourself where you don't have to trust anybody else, because when you've experienced trauma, especially in your childhood, trusting people can be really hard. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to tell me anything. And it is effective and efficient, lighthearted and light-handed approach to healing that's ready and available if you're interested. I believe you are healing your childhood trauma. I'm so proud of you for all of the progress you've already made. And I believe that you will continue healing for the rest of your life and you will enjoy your life. Redefining for yourself and connecting to what you really feel healing is, your internal experience of your life can feel like the healed version of your life. You can connect to yourself and to all the ages you ever were. All of the versions of you deserve to feel good and happy and joyful and safe. I'm sending you so much love. Take care. I would love to read for you and share with you the messages that are important for you to hear. I love photo reading so much. I love connecting to your energy. I love sharing with you the specifics that make a difference for you.
If you'd like to experience a Plumb Point intuitive photo reading for yourself, you can check out our website at theplumbcollective.com, and Plumb is spelled with a B, Plumb, and we'll also include a direct link in the show notes or description box below. This episode of the Plumb podcast is now complete. You had the opportunity to witness and receive a universal collective message. We hope it inspired you. Our reflections provide a mirror that can guide you incrementally toward getting to know yourself more fully. You can come back to this recording of the Plumb podcast anytime. The recording will be the same, but you will be different, and therefore you will have a different experience. You might hear something new. You might connect to yourself in a different way. Tune in next week for a new episode of the Plumb podcast. The conversation will be different, but we will always express ourselves authentically, and we create the space for you to do the same.